Hi everybody, it's Ilene here. I just wanted to do a quick share on how I made these cute little embellishments. Really easy, it's all scrap paper, so I will do a quick show on how I did it. So I used my scallop punch, and if you don't have one you can use like fancy scissors, or make a circle with a pen and then tear it, or a pencil and tear it, and then you can erase your edges. You also need some cardboard, because that's what I have underneath here is cardboard. So what I did was I just punched out a piece of cardboard and I just traced it and cut it out. Like that. What I also used for this was some coffee filters I was given, and they're not quite the same as the other coffee filters that are like round. They're those those triangular ones, and they are really neat texture to them. They've got like a really fibery texture to them, so I thought they were really cool, and I tried them out in different things, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see it, they're very textury and bumpy, and they ink well too and stuff, so I have inked them, and they cut really well with my Stampin' Up! Stamp anyhow, my 1 1/4 inch, so they work really well with this stamp, as you can see. So for something that was given to me, that works pretty good for me. So I like that. And then I just did 2 punches out, and I have 4 pieces. I also used my teeny weeny little punch for this one, which was, it's a 1/2 inch, and this is a Stampin' Up! Punch as well. But I just use whatever I have, or I mean, I happen to buy these too, but you can also just cut them out too. If you're doing only a few embellishments, it's not that much work. One thing I did for these is I just added ink to my ink pad, or my ink stamp, and I bought this new ink stamp because I have big ink pads sometimes, and I'm finding it better, so I could refill it too, I think, so I like it. So what I did was I just put my circle on there, inked it up like that, and I cut a few extras so I could just go over it and not waste that ink, and that's what I do. So it's pretty cool. Then I have this little, I just bought this yesterday, just from a dollar store. It was $1.50. It was not an actual dollar store, but one of those dollar stores, they say dollar plus or something. Anyways, it's just for the edges, and it works well, so I'm just going to add my ink to this once it dries out, if the sponge survives, because of my using it on the edge of paper all the time. But I like it, so that's that. I also edged the scalloped punch. A nice little edge on there. And I also edged the cardboard I peeled the first layer off. And then I edged it. And I also edged it with a little bit of red-ish ink. And then with the little circle, I also inked up a little piece of another ink pad right here. This kind of swirly do thing here in the corner of my ink pad. I just did a little bit of that. Added it on, just so that I have a little highlight of red. I also put my little dot on here on the larger stamp, which I didn't do. To get the print on there, and it's kind of light, so I might just do a tad more ink on there. And there we go. And then I do the edges of this one. And it just really finishes up, makes it look nice. It's so cute. Blends it all together. So the other thing I did with these was I did a little bit of embossing around the little pieces here, the scallop pieces. So that's what I'm going to do here. Grab my little pad, fun foam pad, and I'm going to flip it over and use my larger one and just go around and do a little bit of an embossing just to make it different, so it's not just flat. So then if you make a different design, it's a tad different and it gives it a different look. And it doesn't take too much to do this. I don't like embossing very much myself for flowers, so I try to avoid the type of flowers that I have to emboss. But just to do the little edges, actually not too bad. And yesterday I did all 6 and I survived, so it was just a little bit of embossing. Just on the edge and on the little circle. Right here. This little circle. So then I flipped it over already, I didn't tell you, and using a smaller ball. But it gives a nice little edge. So then I just do this one. I have the ink side towards the pad, going around the circle to make like a raised button or a flower center kind of a thing. So however you achieve that shape, that's how I achieve mine. So that's that piece and this piece embossed now. Then I just glued it together. For this piece here, while I'm gluing, I'm just going to fold it up and kind of crumple it up into a little ball. I usually do that right at the beginning, but I didn't. And I'm going to leave it like that for a few minutes. Put some glue on here. Now when glue gets to the edges, sometimes I just grab a Q-tip and soak it up like that. If it won't show, but I like to do it anyway sometimes, just if it's a lot of glue. I put some glue down the center. open up my crumpled piece of filter, throw it right in the middle like that. I make a dollop of glue right in the center, and then I throw on my centerpiece, and that's how I made these quick little embellishments for any type of card or art journaling or anything like that. They're really cute. And that is scrap paper too, so, and filters that were given to me. This one as well. It's the same almost. I did not emboss it, so I had the scrap paper I used. I had cut out some flowers on it and I never used it again, so I'm gonna cut out or punch out this. So then I again do my edges. And I think this is the one I just did, right? Do my edges. It just really makes it nice too. I like doing the edges rather than just leaving it plain. It gives it more height or something, dimension. This is saving me time from dipping it into my ink pad and using it that way. It's just, I thought, well, you know, it's got to be a little bit easier way, because I was using these little ink pads here for edging my flowers, and I'm like, I'm just going to grab a little ink pad. I was using this scrap paper here for my teeny flower. And then do the same thing with the small flower. And then I kind of bend it a little bit, just try to get the edges here. And I used a glitter glue kind of stuff, like from Michael's. It was on sale for $1.50 bin. It's almost like Stickles, so it works really good. It's my first time using the other than dollar store glitter glue. So I was actually I like the way this is what I used on here, and I like the way it is. So I also used puffy foam paint, glitter foam for craft foam. I just had that forever. I don't know how long I've had it for. Had that forever lying around, so I thought I'd use that. So I'm just going to glue in the center. I think I crimpled these up too. And just to give them a little bit more depth. You can see them a little bit more crumply. I put the flower off center for these ones because I thought I could maybe use them to add a word to them if I wanted to. Or you don't have to, because some of them I did use, just leave plain. You can cut out words from magazines to put in there. I used my little tool here. So what I did was just do the... I like this in the middle because, although the other ones don't show that well, it's okay. I think it's supposed to be kind of clear. I made a big dollop on that one. Perhaps I'd have to look for white foam that's white. It's meant to be clear, I think. But I didn't know that when I put it on. but it doesn't make it pop with the white, so I might look for white fun foam, not clear, like not crystal or glittery. So I put a little bit of glitter on the petals on this one. And I love how this glitter stuff works. This one is Studio Glitter Glue, and I got it at Michael's in the $1.50 bin. So I would definitely buy it again, even though it's a lot smaller than the dollar store glitter glue, because it's just so fine, and that's the only difference. It is fine. So that's how I made this one and this one. So those are my two cute little embellishments. I made these ones as well. And these were just punched out of these book paper with stamped ink and stuff like that on them, and then I just doodled on them. And I got these Martha Stewart pens yesterday, so I was playing with them. I'm very excited because I could now write on dark paper. So I doodled with these, so you could just doodle with these, with any kind of pens that do the same kind of thing. I don't know all the different pens. I'm kind of new to that. And so I doodled on them, and then I put some of the glitter in center. You could seal them with some glue or whatever, like Mod Podge, but I bought these little bottles for like 79 cents. They were on sale at this little store, and it was gel paint, scrapbooking photo tint, and that gave this a little bit of a protecting kind of a glaze on it that's really dull, like you would if you got the matte Mod Podge on there. So that's kind of cool, and it was only 79 cents or 75 cents or something like that, so I like it. And I got a whole bunch of different shades of that, and even glittery one of that, just because it was so cheap. So I thought I would just use that instead of glue, because glue gets used all the time. So just to show you, I throw some puffy paint, silver. I throw this stuff on it, and it just comes out like that. It smells really good. And I smeared it with my finger, and it kind of looks milky, but dries really nice. So if you find weird stuff, it's on sale in places, especially when it's like gel paint stuff, even though it's just scrapbooking stuff, pick it up, because you never know. If it's really cheap anyways. If it's too expensive, you know, I don't know if you want to experiment with it, but if it's cheap, like, yeah. So I doodled that up, and then I layered it with another one. And the same thing, I pinched the flower edges together and twisted them. And when you do this coat on them, or even Mod Podge, it does make the flower stronger, so you can pinch and twist it a little bit better because the book paper is so thin. So that works really good. So you can make little book paper embellishments too with these punches. So I'll make it a little different, but just to show you what I did. And then for the leaves on that, I just used my oval punch, I just used my oval punch for the leaves, and green paper, which I misplaced, I think. It was right here. Oh, it fell. And then I stamped it up with this little stamp I have. It's a Stampin' Up set of a snowman set. Now where's the stamp set to show you? I'm not sure if it's called Let It Snow. The set, yeah, I think it's Let It Snow. And it's got the snowman trees and all that kind of stuff in there. I just used that snowman's little arm here, twig arm, to make some veins into the oval. So you can use stamps to alter things, right? And then I did do my edges. And then I just kind of pinched this together like that and flatten this one out, so because that one's going to go underneath the flower. Push it down on my glass, on my table. Pushed it down my table, kind of made it like that, just so then it'll go under as a leaf. So it fits pretty good. I mean, this might not be the greatest green, but it was the green that was out, so I mean, it's cute. You can alter that like that. Anyway, that's it for now, guys, so thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.